If you haven't had an opportunity to watch Game of Thrones, The Mountain and the Viper, stop listening now. Major spoilers. Here we go. The gods have made their will known. Tyrion Lannister, in the name of King Tommen of the House Baratheon, first of his name, you are hereby sentenced to death. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, man, we're talking about this absolutely breathtaking, crazy, insane, amazing, best episode of Game of Thrones, man, so far. Like, man, every single episode gets better and better and better, okay? We're going to start from the end of the episode and work our way back, obviously talking about the characters that I, come to love and appreciate the most, and after that, we'll talk about other stuff that's happened inside of the season, okay, or inside of this episode. First off, my heart is absolutely broken, man. It's torn into, pretty much they punched their hand through my chest, grabbed my heart, ripped it out of my chest, threw it on the ground, stomped it, and then after that, chopped my head off. That's exactly what happened tonight. I thought everything was going good, man. Prince Oberyn was fighting the mountain, and he had a game plan. He said, first off, I'm not going to wear any armor. I'm going to have light armor. I'm going to take a couple of drinks of this nice wine or whatever, get a little tipsy so I can, perform. And then he went out there with the sole purpose, because we all always knew that he had a hidden agenda, and his hidden agenda was to find out who was responsible for the death of his sister, okay? And he knew that the mountain was the one that was responsible, okay? So when he came out there to fight, it was amazing, man. He had his I guess you could say lover out there with him, and she kissed him and said, I wish you well. And Tyrion was out there, and he was like, first off, Tyrion was like, why are you not in armor? Why don't you have armor on? And this is the best line of tonight. This is what he said. He said, you're going to fight that? That's what the girl had asked him. She said, you're going to fight that? He said, no, I'm going to kill that. Okay. And then, the reason why he didn't wear any armor is he likes to be light on his feet. And what was pretty dope about this, man, they showed Prince Oberyn, they showed him actually running around, dancing around, and doing all these crazy moves, man. He almost like a Power Ranger out there, doing all these moves, to kind of, I guess, show us, the audience, that maybe, haven't read the books or something like that this dude can actually literally get down. He can get boogie with it, okay, get jiggy with it, and he can actually, he has a little bit of soul, a little bit of rhythm to him, and he was out there, man, spinning this blade around, and he put on a show for the people, and it was like, who is this guy? That's the first thing I asked. I said, what is going on right now, man? Even the people, that are supposed to be, cheering for the mountain were actually cheering for Prince Oberyn, man. And all of a sudden, he had an advantage. Okay, he started fighting him. He was moving around. He blocked a couple of the mountain's swings, and the mountain is huge, man. This dude is sitting probably I think he's 7 feet tall, man. And he looks gigantic. He looks like the biggest creature you've ever seen, step out there, okay? And they start fighting, and the mountain starts swinging his sword, and Prince Oberyn is just out there, dancing around. He comes up and he stabs him in the stomach, and he's demanding. He said, he's kind of doing this chant, you raped her, you killed her, tell me her name or something like that. I want you to tell me who's responsible for all this. And it was really awesome. I mean, you were cheering for the prince, man. You didn't want the mountain to win. Nobody wants the mountain to win, because if the mountain wins, then that means that Tyrion is dead, okay? And what was kind of crazy about it, man, he stabbed the mountain in the stomach. First he knocked his head off. He knocked his helmet off, okay? Stabbed him in the stomach. Then after that, he stabbed him in in the back of his right leg, to where he knocked him on the ground. And then after that, he jumped up, and this was crazy. The mountain had fell down. He was completely on his back, flat on his back. He jumped up, grabbed his spear, and just rammed it right into his stomach again, man. And I thought he was dead. I thought the mountain was dead. But Prince Oberyn, man, pulled his spear back out, and he was like, you're not going to die yet. I want you to say her name. I want you to say the name, okay? You raped my sister. You killed her children. Tell me her name. That's what I want you to do right now. So he pulls out the spear, and everything's kind of going good, but I think he got a little too confident. Maybe it was too much wine, too much alcohol. Maybe he was just too drunk. He said, say it. You raped her. You killed her children. You murdered her. Tell me her name. And after that, he gets just a little bit too close to the mountain. The mountain grabs Prince Oberyn's leg, slams him to the ground, and I don't know. I don't understand how it happened, man. Because I'm still kind of looking at this episode. I'm like, how is this possible? Maybe because the mountain is just a mountain. Okay, he's not going to die until he's dead. It was almost, I guess, like a Terminator scene, if you will. And he grabs his leg, man, and then now whatchamacallit's on the ground. Okay, so he grabs his leg, he puts him on the ground, and as he starts standing up, the mountain actually literally grabs Prince Oberyn by his neck, pulls him up above his chest, almost like he's lifting a weight, and punches him across the face, knocks pretty much all of his teeth out of his mouth, okay? Then after that, he gets on top of Prince Oberyn, he puts his fingers into his eyes and starts to gouge his eyes out. And listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about this is actually happening on the screen, okay? He's grabbing his eyes out. He's gouging them. He's like, pushing in. He's like, yeah, and he's like, I raped her. I killed her children. And after that, he starts squeezing his head. And you're hearing on this, you're hearing, his I guess you could say like the skull crushing. And he says, then I crushed her head. And he squeezes Prince Oberyn's head and literally smashes his head. He squeezes and smashes the head of the prince. It's shattered. It's oh my god, dude. It's gone. The head is gone. It smashed its head in. And after that, the mountain falls back over, and then after that, you see Tyrion's father, man, stand up, and he says, man, the gods have made their will known. Tyrion Lannister, in the name of King Tommen of the House Baratheon, first of his name, you are hereby sentenced to death. And just the look on Tyrion's face, man, the look on Jaime's face too. But Jaime just looked down. He was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. But Tyrion, man, he was just like everything escaped. Like he actually got pale, and his facial expression was like, I can't believe this happened. This is real. It's really happening, and I'm gonna die. And then the scene cuts to black. And then what was so crazy about it? The scene cuts to black. There's no music, and then a little bit of music. The sorrowing type music starts again. Like, we have 2 episodes left, and this is what we're facing right now. I don't know what to say, man. I just I'm hoping that somebody does something. I don't want to see this guy die. I don't want to see it. He's such a great character, and he's come a long way. He's the only Lannister that has had depth to where his character has adapted and and was able to kind of, I guess you can say, change a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He was bad, and then all of a sudden he was good, and then he gets better, and now I don't know, man. You kind of just root for him, man, for some reason. Maybe that's just how they wrote it or something. I don't know, man. But next week's episode looks crazy. There's a fight. I don't want to spoil this one, man. I'm not even going to talk about it, but there's a huge fight. Jon Snow's in the mix, and it is some kind of creature that is like, I don't know, 90 feet tall, is walking inside of Game of Thrones, man. I don't know, man. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy, man. Anyway, guys, that's it, man. We're going to stop here, and then after that, we're going to go and talk about some more stuff that happened. Tonight's podcast is going to be really short, man. Probably about maybe 20 minutes at the most, maybe 25. It's not going to be that long, though. All right, guys, thanks again for listening. If you haven't had an opportunity to watch Game of Thrones, The Mountain and the Viper, stop listening now. Major spoilers, here we go. We're talking about Lady Sansa and Littlefinger. This was absolutely one of the best moments of tonight, because we finally get Lady Sansa back to being Lady Sansa, not, hiding for her safety, hiding for her life. She gets to go back and be, I guess, this royalty figure that we've come to love and know. And it looks like she's finally happy, because she smiled tonight, man, for like the first time in a million years, it seems like. Okay, so Littlefinger, man, visits Lord Royce, and Lord Royce wants to know the truth about what happened to Lady Lysa, man. He wants to know the truth, okay? And obviously, I think Lord Royce doesn't believe Littlefinger, man. I think he knows that Lord Baelish is just a liar, and this is where I love how they put it in. They brought in Lady Sansa. They made that sure that, people are not stupid. They know that Lord Baelish is corrupt, okay? So Lord Baelish is trying to explain to Lord Royce about how Lady Lysa jumped through the moon door, okay? And he's not feeling it. The entire council that's with Lord Royce they're not feeling it. They're like, whatever, man, listen, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to this girl. And then Lord Baelish tries to tell Royce that the girl that he's speaking of is deaf, she's mute, she's blind, she doesn't know anything, she's dumb, she's uneducated, etc. And he says, I'll be the judge of that, bring her in. And then after that, Lord Baelish is like, well, let me go get her. And he says, whoa, no need for that. You sit tight, we have her already. And then all of a sudden the doors open up, and you get to see Lady Sansa. She's sitting she's standing right there outside the door. She walks in, and she's, forgive me, I gotta go into the Lady Sansa accent. I have to, okay? She's like, forgive me, Lord Baelish. I had to tell the truth. I can't lie anymore. And then she just begins to, to tell the truth about how she was treated by her aunt, man, how her aunt threatened her because, she thought that, Lord Baelish and Lady Sansa had something going on. And then what was kind of crazy is that when she began telling the truth, she actually, told the truth about who she really is. So she's like, Lord Royce, I've seen you before, and you know me because you know my father. I'm Lady Sansa Stark. And then after that, you should have seen their face, because their faces like dropped, and they were like, whoa, this is crazy. And after that, they didn't believe her at first, but then she started telling, stories of when they met, stuff that only she would know, okay? And then after that, they embraced her, they gave her a hug, and everything was really, really good, man. Now, check this out, man. Lady Sansa saved Lord Baelish. Lord Baelish has this plan now to put Robin as the Lord of the Vale, okay? And he says that since Lady Lysa is gone now, Robin has the opportunity to become great. And I think, and here's the reason why I think that Lord Baelish is using Robin, because there's a scene where you see Lord Baelish kind of dropping this knowledge on Robin about life and how you should don't worry about death, but always just worry about life. Then all of a sudden, check this out. This was, I was in tears after this, man. You see like this, how do you want to say, the camera pans up over Robin's shoulder, and you see this figure that's standing, like she looks like a shadow because the sunlight is actually shining towards the camera, so you can't see the figure that's there. And then all of a sudden the camera cuts, and then you go and you see a close-up of Lord Baelish's face, and his face is smiling. It's like this, well, it's not like a smile, it's almost like a sinister look on his face. And what's kind of cool about this is that you're thinking to yourself, I said, okay, that has to be, Lady Sansa, man. He's looking pretty creepish right now. And all of a sudden you see the camera cuts back, and you see Lady Sansa start walking forward. Now check this out. It's not the Lady Sansa that you know. It's how do you want to say this? It's like she's grown now. Like I guess they're kind of, telling us as the audience and stuff that we probably already know already. She's no longer the little, I guess you could say the little girl, that we know. She's grown, and she was wearing like this royalty type of garment. You know what I'm saying? It looked just totally different. It looked nothing like her. And then she walks up to Lord Baelish, and she's like, "Shall we go?" And they walk off with her, Robin, and Lord Baelish. And after that, you don't know what's going to happen, because that was the last time that you see her on screen. But it seems like everything's kind of working out for Lord Baelish, man. It's absolutely nuts, man. We're going to stop there. This is the end of part 2. I'm going to head over to part 3, guys. Thanks again for listening, man. Rather. If you haven't had an opportunity to watch Game of Thrones, The Mountain and the Viper, stop listening now. Major spoilers. Here we go. We're talking about Khaleesi. We're going to talk about everybody that's inside of her inner circle, man. Here we go. Missandei and Grey Worm, they share this moment. Grey Worm sees Missandei naked, and usually the Unsullied don't have any type of, I guess you can say, feeling or emotion towards that type of display. But he did. And then he comes into this, I guess you can say like the, where she's standing next to the throne. He comes inside, the Grey Worm, and he says, okay, I'm sorry, I apologize, I shouldn't have seen you like that. And she says, I'm glad that you did see me like that. And then she asks him about, do you remember when you became Unsullied? Do you remember when they, cut your stuff off, And then he says, I'm only Unsullied, I remember nothing. And they share this moment, you know what I'm saying? And he knows a lot of information about her. I just want to go ahead and point that out. So it looks like their relationship is starting to come together, which is dope to me. I love that. Now, this is going to get tough, man, for me to talk about, man, because it was really, really sad moment tonight, man. But here we go, man. Bear with me, man. Sir Barrister, man, he receives this scroll from this little kid. And the scroll has this red ink on there, you know, with a seal from somebody, okay? We find out that it's from Robert Baratheon. And we find out that the scroll, what the contents that are inside of the scroll is that it's a royal pardon signed by Robert Baratheon, man. Now, Barrister, man, he takes the scroll and gives it to Ser Jorah. And what's kind of crazy about this, man, I never trusted Barrister, man. I never trusted him at all. But it turns out that Ser Jorah is the one that you shouldn't trust, because all along he's been spying on Khaleesi, man. And he tries to kind of reason with Barrister. He's like, listen, let me talk to her. Let me talk to her alone. And Barrister says, you'll never be alone with her again. So Jorah, he walks up there and he you know, Khaleesi's on her throne. She's sitting there absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous. She's sitting there, but it's this look of it's almost like anger, but it's like she's so, you know, she's keeping her composure, man. She's really like relaxed. She's not showing her anger. So Khaleesi speaks to him and she says, you know, why did you do this? Tell me about this. Tell me if it's true. And then Jorah tries to say, can I speak to you alone? And she's like, no, you can talk. If anything you have to say to me in private, you can say to them. And he tries to walk forward a little bit, and then you see Grey Worm, and then you see Barrister, man, they walk forward to kind of block him a little bit. Then he stops, and then Khaleesi stands up because, you know, after he tells her that, yes, it's true, I did, you know, spy on you, she stands up and she says, for how long? Well, he starts talking about, like, since the beginning, man, since the beginning of time, man, since the Dothraki, since Drago and the child, since her brother was killed. I mean, just go on and on, man. He's been spying on her, I guess, since I don't know, season 1. Let's just put it that way. And it literally broke my heart, man, because see, Khaleesi, man, she tells him to leave the city, leave her city. You can go back and try to, you know, accept your pardon or get your pardon from Robert Baratheon if you can. But if you're inside of the city, once the sun comes up, you're dead. I'm gonna chop your head off and I'm gonna throw it into the sea. And you know, Slaver's Bay, man. I was literally like blown away because first off, man, let's talk about Khaleesi's acting inside of here, man. Absolutely brilliant, man. Like, it just kind of shows you that character is the best character on Game of Thrones because she needs to be ruling, man. You know, even in so much anger. Like, I think that in this little scene right here, she actually learned mercy. And that's what he was trying to teach her. So it kind of showed you, you know, when he begged for mercy and said, Khaleesi, please allow me to, you know, try to, you know, be, you know, earn your forgiveness, allow me to stay. And then she was like, no, I'm not going to let you stay in my city. It's my rules now. I'm going to show you mercy that you've always asked for, and you can leave, but make sure that you're gone by the time I tell you, or you're gonna be hurting, you know. And it kind of sucks, man, because I don't know. I mean, hopefully Grey Worm is actually paying attention to Khaleesi instead of and this is why I say it. The reason why I say that is because he's now messing with Missandei. So hopefully his mind is focused, because I still don't trust, man, Barrister. I don't trust him. I'm sorry, man. It's just something about the old man. I don't know. He's creepy. He came in at a weird time, you know, and it's just, I don't know, the way that he came in and saved her from that scorpion, and then that crazy girl that hopped into the water and ran fast. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't trust that dude, man. But I guess right now we'll have to just wait and see. There's only 2 more episodes left, man. That's it, guys. That's the end of, I believe, part 3. We're heading to part 4 now, right here. If you haven't had an opportunity to watch Game of Thrones, The Mountain and the Viper, stop listening now. Major spoilers. Here we go. Real quick, man. Gilly was spared by Jon Snow's wife, Ingrid. Reek returns home, and Lord Bolton is the one that sends him back home. Now, Reek is returning home as himself. He's no longer the Reek, but he is the Reek, but he's just, you know, I guess disguised as his original self in his original form, quote unquote. Okay. Now, let me see. Lord Bolton, check this out, man. Lord Bolton speaks to Ramsay Snow. Ramsay Snow is now Ramsay Bolton, Warden of the North. So Lord Bolton has I guess, accepted Ramsay into his fold and now understands that he's really loyal, so he actually promoted him. Reek is back with Lord Bolton and Ramsay Bolton, and they're now moving towards a location. I don't want to spoil that, guys, but they're moving towards somewhere, and that's important. Arya and the Hound, man, they arrive, you know, on their little journey and adventure, man. They arrive to the Bloody Gate. They announce, you know, who they are, and then all of a sudden, one of the Bloody Gate watchers or guards, they say, you know, they let Arya know about the situation with Lady Sansa, or excuse me, Lady Lysa, who's dead. And then Arya, she just starts laughing hysterically, man. And when I say, listen, she's laughing like the Joker. Like 100% laughing like the Joker, man. It's absolutely, it was just funny, man. It was just absolutely funny, man. One of those funny moments inside of Game of Thrones, man. That is pretty much it, man. Just a couple of little things that happened tonight which are really, really funny, man. You get to hear a little bit about the beetle slaughter, and that's Orson's beetles. And then Orson was actually killed by a mule kick to the chest. That is pretty much it, man. Just to kind of sum it up, Sir Barrister turned in this pardon from from Robert Baratheon that kind of made Sir Jorah, you know, come out as a spy. Khaleesi kicks Sir Jorah out of the city. He's now, you know, I guess wandering the lands of Game of Thrones, man. Ramsay Snow is now Ramsay Bolton. Arya and the Hound arrive at the Bloody Gate. Hopefully, you know, soon they'll be meeting up with Lady Sansa. Lady Sansa and Littlefinger and Robin are now, like, have joined forces, and Lady Sansa is now free. She's officially back as Lady, you know, Sansa Stark. She's no longer hiding. The Mountain killed Prince Oberyn. Prince Oberyn killed the Mountain, but the Mountain smashed Prince Oberyn's head. Tyrion Lannister is now going to be sentenced to death. That is pretty much it, man. I think that kind of sums everything up, guys. Thanks again for watching. What did you think about this episode? What did you think about the death of Prince Oberyn and the Mountain and all that crazy stuff, man? It's just absolutely nuts, man. But one of the best episodes of Game of Thrones, man. We're out of here. Thanks again for listening.